So, as is traditional at this time of year, we take a break from whatever we have been doing and we do something a little bit silly, a little bit trivial, a little bit light-hearted. And this year we have got some little electronic kits from Ali-Xmas and we are going to build them up. So let's do it. Now, partly this is to give me a break from that one big project that has been occupying my time for what seems like half the year, and just basically do something different. So I've got these kits from Ali-Xmas. They are basically Christmas decorations. And the reason I wanted some Christmas decorations is basically at the end of last year, I got rid of pretty much all my Christmas decorations, the tree and all so on, because I was expecting to move house during the year and I would be requiring all new stuff anyway. That didn't happen for a bunch of reasons, and so this year I have to get all new decorations again, and I thought a few little things from Ali-Xmas would actually work quite nicely. So I have got 3 kits. These 2 kits are almost identical, I would say. They appear to be the same board. They are just... This is a 3-colour... it's a Christmas tree. It's got regular standard LEDs, red, green, yellow. We can see those. And this one is 7-colour, so it's got a slightly different array of LEDs, and they are all, as far as we can tell, clear. That's because they simply don't have coloured bodies to the body, I guess. This 3rd one is a little Christmas tree ornament. It's going to be a star to stick on the top or something, and it is pretty much all surface mount. Let's start with this one. So hopefully it's not going to require a microscope, but you never know. I imagine all the LEDs are going to be red, so it's going to be a red star to go on the top of the tree. So this is LEDs on one side, yeah, components on the other side. It takes DC 5 volts. So I guess we're going to hook that up to one of our patented... there we go. This is one of my... I built loads of these little LED 5 volt little 5 volt USB tails. So that plugs into a USB connection, and this gives us 5 volts. We can make these any length we like, well, within reason. So the first thing to do with this is to clean the board, and I'm going to do that with some IPA. This will just get rid of any sort of grease, oil, fingerprints, stuff that is likely to stop the solder from adhering. So when you're working with surface mount components, I find it's always helpful to get some sort of little pot or lid. In this case, this is just a little tiny food snack pot, and that is what we're going to empty the components into. So I'm going to start with the LED side. If you know a good way, and I say this every single video where I'm doing surface mount stuff, if you know a good way of getting stuff out of these little sleeves, then please let me know. You see, I didn't even get it out of the window and it has gone. It just flipped away. I don't know where that went, so the kit is immediately ruined, ha 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 ha, because we have lost the first component. But we might have enough for a spare. So let's keep going. Once you've got it started, they come out quite easily. Right, you've got a little arrow on the PCB and you've got a little arrow on the back. And if you turn that over to the correct way up, the arrow points to that green end. So I'm going to organise these to be all the correct way around, or at least the same way around, so that I can easily transfer them to the board, and we will come back when that's done. Okay, there is only just enough LEDs. There's 20 on the board and 20 LEDs. I did manage to find this one back off the floor. Hopefully it's the right one. If it's a different colour, we'll know that there's another one lurking down there somewhere. So what I'm going to do is squeegee some flux onto each of these. Let's just do these 3 to start with. So these 3 points, the arrow is pointing towards the centre. So on these, the arrow is on that side. So what I'm going to do is just add a little drop of solder to the end of the iron, and basically tin that end. Then I can take an LED, sit it down, melt that, slide it in. And the one on the point is going to be the one that I recovered off the floor. So we will know if that turns out to be a different colour. Then we'll just turn it around. And that should hopefully be those 3. And we'll do the same going all the way around. And so the final 5 is not quite all pointing in the same direction. They're sort of mostly, but one is in the opposite. Okay, hopefully that should be done. Needs a good clean. There we go, and that should be ready for putting the other side on. Let's just check these in diode mode. Yep, they all light up. Don't know if you can see that. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. They're not particularly bright because this is just the diode test mode on the multimeter, but they do all light up. Okay, so for the other side, I've already got the components out of their little packaging, and believe me, it did involve chasing some resistors around the table. So we've got 3 resistors, 47k, then we've got 33k, 22 ohms, and 100k, and we've got this little transistor, which is that chap, and this IC, which is an LM358, and so let's start with the LM358. There we go, that's done. And there we are. So we'll clean this up again, and then we'll be able to plug it in and try it. So by now you must be wondering, where can I get some of this PCB goodness? These of course are kits, and you can buy the kits from Ali-Xmas or from Amazon or places like that, but you can also design and make your own. It's actually not that difficult. You can download existing designs from the web and get our sponsor PCBWay to make them for you. You can design them yourself in a tool like KiCad. Just upload your design to PCBWay, select a few simple parameters like the color of the solder mask and the silk screen and the number that you want, and about a week later you'll get a bunch of boards back. These are purple. Purple are on special offer at the moment, along with some other colors. They don't just do PCBs, of course. They do 3D printing and CNC machining, sheet metalwork, and so on. Check them out, www.pcbway.com. So here we are. We've got our 5-pointed star components on this side, LEDs on this side. We've now got a USB lead attached. Okay, that's better. Right. So we can plug it in and see if it goes. Yay. Let's turn the lights down. So that doesn't look very red in the camera viewfinder, but I can assure you that in real life that is very red. So that's kind of our pulsing tree topper. So the two Christmas tree sets, I think they are ostensibly the same apart from the colours of the LEDs. Maybe the values of the resistors. But they cost me about £2.60 each from Ali-Xmas, and the little 5-pointed star was just over £1. So they do represent reasonable value for money, I think. So we've got a battery box, looks like 3 AAs, so we're looking at about 4.5 volts. We've got a PCB, and we've got a USB charger, so I probably don't need an extra one of these. And we've got slotting together PCBs. I guess they go like this, so they provide our 3D tree, and then they go into here like this. But again, we've got no instructions, so we don't know what we are particularly doing. These are our other components. So what have we got? 47 microfarads, 16 volts. Then we have some transistors, which are S9014s. We've got a push button switch, and we've got our little barrel jack, which is for the USB. Now I'm guessing we can either power it from the barrel jack or from the batteries. I'm going to do it from the barrel jack because honestly I really don't like doing stuff off batteries. And then we've got 2 screws and 2 nuts, and we've got a mixture of colours of LEDs. Okay, so I've found some instructions on the store page and I've printed them out. So it's basically just 3 one-page images. So this is our components list, and that ties together with what we have got here. Then these are the instructions. So we've got 3 boards: the A board, the B board and the C board. So that's A, that's B and that's C. Tools we need: iron, 30 watts, solder wire, multimeter, tweezers, wire cutters. We have all those. Check part values and quantities against part list. Always meter resistor values before soldering. Understand all part polarities and orientations. So we know that. Okay. So insert resistors. R1, R3, R5 is 10k. We do have 10k. R2, R4, R6 is 150R. We don't have 150R. R7 is 470. The store page says that this is powered from 9 volts, but clearly it's not. The AA battery pack is going to be 4.5 volts, and this is going to be 5 volts. Let's start putting things in and see what we get. I think it will probably come out in the wash. And these smaller ones, I think I'm just going to do number for number and pick them sort of kind of at random, because I don't know whether it's going to make a difference. So R2 is going to be this one. So that's our boards with the resistors in. Install the triodes, bending them over by 90 degrees. So we have to bend them away from the center. Like that, I guess. Okay, that's those. Okay, so electrolytics. Now the long leg is positive, the shaded bit is negative. So now we insert the LEDs with the pins bent out. So that's that one. I think that's that one pretty much finished. Okay, so now we've got the LEDs done. So we combine A boards and B boards. I think the arrows are supposed to line up. Let's put this C board together. So I think we can put the switch on. Now it shows this bit, so the hollow bit goes towards the edge. And then the barrel jack. So finally this goes in. And I suppose we're supposed to solder it. So there we have it. One more LED to go, and that is the one on the top. So what do you want to bet it does nothing? I've had to move it over to the side of the table because this USB lead is not very long. So let's plug it in. Not terribly hopeful because that doesn't go very far in, but we shall see. Right. Press the button. Oh, yes it does. Some of them are very dim, so yeah, I'm not sure that maybe the LED choices are particularly, or sorry, the resistor choices are particularly good. The 470 ohms on the top is nice and bright, but that one in particular is dim, that one is dim, that one is dim. So I'm guessing some changes of resistor values might come in handy. So I adjusted the resistors on here to give the tree a more even brightness. And I also put these standoffs on there just to give it a bit of feet. You could actually screw the battery pack on. There are screw holes that would go onto, but I didn't want to do that particularly. This is going to be basically the same as this tree, but we have 7 colours instead of 3 colours, and we can't tell what the colours are, so that is going to make it somewhat more random. Let's see if the resistors are the same, because if they are, then I will make the substitutes that I did for this one. No, they're not. We've got, that looks like 10K. Yep. In that one. So this is 470 ohms. And this is 150 ohms. So, okay, the printed values of the resistors are correct for the multicolour 7 colour LEDs, which is worth knowing. We've got a few spares again. So these go together like that. The light on the top of the tree, again, plus and minus, goes in like that. I have no idea what colour it will turn out to be. Just bend it up. There we go. So I've plugged it in. Let's give it a try. What colour is it going to be? Are they LEDs all the same colour, or do they change colour? Are they cycling? I don't know. I have no idea. Let's see what we get. Oh, they change colours. Green, red, blue. So, happy Christmas everybody. I will see you next year. There will be some exciting things going on next year. Hopefully we will get this CDTV finished, because it really needs to get finished. And then we can start on some exciting new things. And there are other things in the works with the studio and the house, and we'll talk about that in the new year. Let's dim the lights. I do rather like that multicolour one, I've got to admit. I had originally thought that they would all be single colour and just what you would get, but obviously not. I see purple, I see blue, I see... If you want to support the channel, please check out my Patreon. That goes a great way towards helping. Please like and subscribe and do all those good things, because that helps the algorithm, and the algorithm is life as far as little tiny channels like mine is concerned. And I'll see you next year. See ya. Bye. We wish you a merry Hog's Watch, we wish you a merry Hog's Watch, etc. I'm not singing any more, for which you will be no doubt very glad.